Boom! In the head. Oh.
Touch the glove. Huge body kick by Sadabusi.
Oh, mother. It's like somebody's pulling your lungs out. You can't breathe. You feel all your body fluids stop.
And now Chris Curtis is talking.
Why you talk so much trash when you fight?
Oh, huge knee.
Dropped it with the flying knee.
A lot of people want to be fighters, man.
We're here at headquarters. Excited to have you part of the Professional Fighters League.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited about too. It's new, it's fresh, and I'm happy to start off with it. I want to grow with it as well.
Playoffs coming up. We already had our regular season, Mike.
All right, what that consists of?
So Professional Fighters League, regular season, playoffs, and a championship, just like all the traditional sports league. The regular season for all these fighters in our weight classes, 2 regular season fights. Based on how they finished in those fights, they get points. And then they're seeded based on the points in a bracket-style tournament for the playoffs, which coming up October 11th, 17th, and Halloween, scary night, October 31st in Las Vegas at Mandalay Bay. 2 fights in one night to advance to a championship.
How does the crowd take to the 2 fights a night?
So it's kind of new in mixed martial arts, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of these fighters come from wrestling backgrounds, judo backgrounds. This is the Professional Fighters League reintroducing 2 fights in one night tournament-style playoffs to the sport of mixed martial arts.
Taking to 2 fights a night?
I think they are. Yeah. We had our first playoffs last year, and it was a huge hit. I mean, I thought it was great because I ended up winning, of course.
I saw you're a scrapper, man. God, why do you take so much punishment? So tough.
Mike, I knew you were going to talk about the head movement, man, because that's probably one of the worst things about my career. I didn't move my head enough, but we got highlights. Have they showed you the highlights yet?
Oh, I saw you clobber a couple of guys.
Yeah, it's every time when he's in trouble and the fighter, his opponent thinks he's got him. Got him. That's where Sean O'Connell is very dangerous.
And Yves said it right. He has a chin. Sean can take a shot or 2 or 3 or 4.
I bet you got extra thick skull. You take good shots.
I think that's the only way I survived in this sport, is an extra thick skull. Coming up on October 11th, we got our welterweights fighting twice in one night. This is the playoffs for these guys. Let's take a look at these matchups, Mike. Gleico França, Brazilian, crazy well-rounded fighter, excellent grappling, newcomer to the league. Andre Fialho, the 8 seed, same thing, calls himself a boxer, so I want to know what you think when we get to his highlights.
All right. Gleico. Oh, Gleico, watch your move, Gleico. Taking him down, huh?
Oh, he's got that armor. Is it under the chin?
That looks
like it's in his head.
Beautiful job by Gleico França.
The dude he just beat right there, undefeated coming into the season. Bunch of hype surrounding this young kid out of Russia. Gleico put him away in the first round.
It's a big confidence booster against these Russian wrestlers.
Sadabusi, this was their second regular season fight to secure a playoff spot, top seed. It was 1 versus 2 coming into the night. Gleico finished like this.
Pounding away at Sadabusi on the bottom. The late onslaught from Gleico França. The Brazilian zombie turns it up and gets a 3rd round finish over Sadabusi.
Number 4 versus number 5, John Doomsday Howard.
All right.
Number 5, David MICHAUD. Both of these guys American fighters. MICHAUD, wrestling background, played college football and wrestled in college, but he has not been around the game quite as long as John Howard has. Second regular season fight for Howard. It was win or go home. If he loses this fight, he doesn't make the playoffs.
Big left hooks and a big exchange. Cooper is dropped and in big trouble.
Howard should make space. Stay on the outside. Another left hook.
Cooper is down and out.
John Howard.
John Doomsday Howard with a huge knockout victory.
David MICHAUD, Native American fighter out of Phoenix, Arizona right now. His first bout.
And that's all it takes.
Liver shot. Left kick right to the liver.
His second fight of the regular season, same scenario, win or go home.
Big right hand by David MICHAUD.
MICHAUD looking for the finish here late in round number 1. And Keith Peterson steps in. David MICHAUD with a first round stoppage. 6 points and a ticket to the welterweight playoff.
What do you think of that overhand right? The overhand right lands a lot in mixed martial arts.
So what do you say? He's, who's the sucker for the punch?
This 3 versus 6, Sadabusi against Ray Cooper III, who's coming off a loss. His last fight was that loss to John Howard.
Yeah, but that's not bad. For a loss like that's not bad, because that was a loss where he was coming.
So he was a middleweight. He was a 185-pounder for us last year. He came down to 170 pounds.
This guy is long and lanky. Oh, beautiful fighter.
So the key for Sadabu, obviously to stay at distance, use his reach. And Ray, he's actually pretty short for a welterweight. He's gonna be trying to fight inside. His first fight of the season, Mike, that's his cousin right there.
I don't know if I could ever fight somebody in my family.
If somebody doesn't step between them, this fight might happen without a sanctioning body over it.
Great move there by Yves Levine, stepping in at just the right time.
Did you ever fight anyone that was close to you? Maybe not family, but someone you grew up with, someone super close to you?
I had no friends when I was fighting. I wouldn't even want to be friends. I never said hi to fighters.
Now Ray goes, and it's in.
It's in, and there's the tap.
Cooper almost didn't want to let go of that.
Didn't want to let go, and Yves Levine doing a good job here in intervening.
I always wondered, dealing with the emotion, right? That's something that fighters have to do. There's anxiety, there's fear for some people. And then you add the emotion of a family connection into it. Seemed like it'd be difficult to me.
I would be so mad. I would fight him before we even get into the ring.
That almost happened.
Yeah, I would be so mad at him wanting to fight me. I'd be so mad.
Chris Curtis, you're gonna meet Chris later today. He's coming in. Last year's champion, that's the guy on the left. Undefeated so far in the PFL, and he's got to take on Chris Curtis, who's one of our newcomers. Chris likes to talk trash, likes to engage. And it's just like oil and water. These two don't mix.
And now Chris Curtis is talking.
Yeah, oh, that's funny.
Talking to him
They're
right
gonna kiss each other almost.
So the women, 155-pound women's lightweight division. 1 versus 4 here. Sarah Kaufman is actually our #1 seed. Experienced UFC veteran, longtime fighter out of Canada.
There's a tap. Sarah Kaufman inside of the first round.
The #4 seed is LARISSA PACHECO. This is that young girl from Brazil I was telling you about.
The youngest one.
She's the youngest one, but pretty experienced. Everyone's sleeping on her, Mike. She's got a really well-rounded skill set. Really good grappler. 2 of the toughest ladies in the world. She's already fought them.
Watch the armbar.
Big armbar, and DL taps. LARISSA PACHECO with a first-round armbar finish.
Anyone ever put you in an armbar just for fun, Mike?
No.
You done any of that jiu-jitsu stuff at all?
No way.
The #2 seed, Kayla Harrison.
Yeah.
2-time Olympic gold medalist in judo.
And there she is, the 2-time Olympic judo gold medalist.
Well, certainly a little more pressure, a little more expectation on her, but I don't think there's anybody more up to the challenge than she is.
Undefeated fighter, wants to be the best female fighter in the world.
She's just a badass, huh?
She is a badass.
Inside of 2 minutes left, LARISSA PACHECO needs to get back to the feet and make something happen, or at least get on top. Nice ground and pound here for Kayla Harrison.
I'm a little scared of her, if we're being honest. When it's time for her to compete, I mean, she's dangerous, man.
Nice by Kayla.
Kayla reverses position. Big moment there. First time she's in trouble. Nice ground and pound here from the top. Gets right to work. That's important.
You might know a little something about being hard on yourself as a competitor. She's undefeated. She won the fight. She was still emotional and crying when she left the ring because she felt like it was a bad performance. She wasn't impressed with herself.
We all have doubts. All athletes have doubts. Like when I took the car, I asked her, why did you want to be a fighter? And then I thought why I wanted to be a fighter. And I wanted people to stop bullying me. And I wanted people to know think I was tough. Until I found out what fighting was really about. Because sometimes I won, but I didn't win the way I was supposed to win.
When you're a perfectionist like that, how do you learn that during your career? I mean, you have that perspective now that you're retired, but right in the middle of her career, how can she learn that perspective and not be so hard on herself?
It's the perspective of perfection. Is it perfect? Is the act perfect, or is the feeling perfect? Maybe she's dealing with the feeling she didn't do perfect, and the act was perfect. The perfection was done.
Yeah.
Kayla Harrison!
So the big question in this number 2 versus 3 matchup, the gal she's fighting is a 6-foot-tall kickboxer. So she's never really been tested in the striking department. She's not real comfortable with her striking, her boxing yet. She always ends up closing the distance, taking people down, using judo, because that's like her base. This girl she's fighting has a world championship in Muay Thai kickboxing.
Boom, right down the middle, perfect.
Both big shot. That Charnetsky's in trouble. Charnetsky's in big trouble.
That'll do it.
So this is what Kayla's got to worry about. The reach and the long straight punches of someone who's got, what is it, Jordan, like a 10-inch reach advantage on her? How do you get past that?
You just gotta, you have to avoid the punches and get in close. It's all about distance.
So Kayla Harrison, you did an interview with Kayla
Yes,
Harrison.
I did do an interview with Kayla.
You sat down with Kayla for like an hour, 90 minutes, something like that, right?
Yes, I did.
So you got to know her a little bit. This girl is one of the most impressive athletes, American athletes in Olympic history. 2-time judo Olympic gold medalist, the best judo player from the United States of America ever. And now she wants to be the best fighter in the world. She wants to be better than Ronda Rousey, better than Amanda Nunes, better than Cyborg. She wants to be known as the best women's mixed martial artist and the best mixed martial artist ever. She's undefeated so far. What do you think her potential is?
I think she can go all the way, not only just because of her potential, because of her just deep down inner deep belief in herself, intestinal fortitude. She really wants to be a fighter. She really believes in herself. She has confidence. And I just want to see her do well. She deserves to be who she wants to be in life.
It's interesting because she's so accomplished already, right? There's a lot of people who make it to their, mid-30s, 2 gold medals, and they're gonna ride that for the rest of their life. They're gonna.
No, she's gonna push herself.
She pushes
wants
herself.
to see. You notice that too?
Yeah.
She wants to see where she can go with this. She wants to go all the way. She wants this place to take everything. She wants to empty the tank of where she can go in this place.
She's unsatisfied with greatness. She's already achieved greatness.
Oh, absolutely. She doesn't know where she wants to go, but she wants to go there.
It's hard to
She's
find
an
people.
amazing person.
It's hard to find people that are truly that motivated, right?
And it's not only that, it's pure, clean love. This is no bad intention, no evilness. She is just pure love. She's just an awesome person.
So when you watch Kayla, the Kayla that you met and you sat down with and had a conversation with, right? She's a sweetheart. She's an intelligent, eloquent individual. You get to know that side, and then you watch her fight, and she's a beast. She's a savage who's taking these girls down, heavy ground and pound. There's a dichotomy there. There's 2 personalities inside of Kayla Harrison.
It's just her passion, Sometimes I bet you it's probably overwhelming to her that she has that kind of passion. And we don't know why God gives that. Why everybody's not like that? That's why it's special, because there's only few people you see in your life that's gonna be like that. We're gonna be able to count the people that we know that's like that on our hand, because we'll never forget people that are like that. That energy, that passion to challenge life.
Yeah, she's a very unique individual.
How many people are afraid of life, and she wants to challenge it through all she has.
I recently, and not my last fight, but the fight before, I went to my first decision.
Mm-hmm.
And
Were you nervous, or you pretty much knew you dominated?
I knew that I had dominated, but I started crying in the cage because
That's amazing.
Because I went to a decision, and I got so much backlash for crying, and people are saying I was a poor sport and what a crybaby and this and that, and I was like, I think these people don't realize how badly, not just how scared you are to lose when you put yourself in that position, but how badly you want to win. I would do anything to win.
This is another concept, right? Fighters, in general, believe that by fighting and winning that we're winning honor. But we can't win honor because we're born with honor. We can only lose it, So we have the wrong concept of fighting. Fighting has to be out of love, for being the best in what you possess. Pretty much that's all sports pretty much is emotions.
Right.
More than not getting knocked out, I'm worried about being humiliated just by losing.
Right.
The fact of losing humiliates me more than being hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the concept.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Totally.
The concept of failure.
Yeah.
Of how I feel about myself and this situation of where I've come from and this big opportunity came, I'll give my life to it, you know?
Yeah.
I look back on my life and I look back on everything that's happened and this and that, and I'm beginning to learn and think that what if it's just a journey? Like, what if I'm striving for all these things and doing all these things, and not every time I want to fight, but every time I had an interaction with this person, or I sparred with this person, or I did this, or like, that's what ran through my mind when I was on top of the podium. It wasn't a gold medal going around my neck like, oh yeah, I did it. It was like a barrage of images of every person who's ever been a part, like every doctor who taped my knee, every training partner, every coach, every moment, every like little girl who came up to me. All of these faces were just like bombarding my brain, and I was like, maybe that's what it was about. And this stupid piece of metal doesn't mean
You know, people like to tear their souls apart. Human beings, we're the only species that I think like to tear our souls apart. We're afraid of things that we know don't even exist. We're afraid of things that we never even encountered before. How do we know it's dangerous to us?
our greatest fears are our greatest waste of time.
Exactly.
Chris, the Action Man Curtis, you signed with the PFL.
Christopher.
You've had 2 regular season fights. You're 1-1. Playoffs in 2 weeks, and you're sitting next to Mike Tyson.
You're looking pretty good shape too, man. So what's going on?
Thanks, man. I feel I'm good, man. I'm like weight's low. My weight's really low. I'm 190 right now. Can't really afford to get fat. I'd rather just stay small and not have to do the extra running.
He's a nice fighter. He talks nice and stuff.
He's an eloquent man.
Yeah, very.
I'm a warrior poet, man, like a samurai. Like,
Are you a college guy and stuff?
I started a little bit, yeah, and
you
then
come
finish.
across like a smart dude.
No, I like to be like a samurai. Like, you know, I'll do poetry, but at the same time, I will cut your head off. So, like, you know, you gotta be well-rounded.
Why would you ever want to become a fighter? What was it about being a fighter that you thought, if I do this, I'll get my niche?
I started doing like martial arts and stuff when I was really young. And for me, it's funny, because everybody always has these cool stories about like what pushed them to fighting. I've just always liked to fight.
Listen, no, it's so funny, because we could be so big and strong, and the guy, if he had enough leverage, you don't care how small he hits in the body, we're gonna go down.
And you gotta stop. Yeah,
I might on ourselves or throw up.
I made that happen.
You know?
I made a guy himself a I'm a big fan of body work and like body punching. I've got a couple decent amount of body shot knockouts and everything. I'm a huge fan of body work.
Oh, you gotta hit the body. The body's such a strange organ.
So Chris, 1-1 in our regular season. He's in the tournament like we were talking about. You saw the highlight, right? So his first round fight in the playoffs is against that same Russian guy. So back-to-back rematch. So you're fighting Magomed Karimov, the season 1 welterweight champion, undefeated so far in Professional Fighters League competition. You've already faced him once. The stakes get higher in the playoffs. Mandalay Bay, it's win or go home when you square off against a guy who has already beat you.
For me, like you said, you know, it's a win or go home thing. I've given up a lot to be here. And, you know, at this point, if I lose, I end up fading back into obscurity. I've come too far to do that. And, like, you know, my family has sacrificed far too much for me to let them down in that way. So I'm going into this fight and this night in general. Like there's no tomorrow, there's no second chances.
Don't you want that $1 million?
Hell yeah, do you know what shit? Oh man, it's funny. Everybody's like, is it gonna change you? Like, they're like, oh, but it won't change you. I'm like, man, I'm coming to practice in the chinchilla skin coat. Like, I'm acting brand new.
Change your address.
Like, I don't know nobody. Like, it's.
Why you talk so much man when you fight? Hey guy, hey Chris, what is the purpose that you speak so much when you're fighting?
You're in there fighting, you look at people's faces, they're like tense, they're like, you know, they're flinched out, they're grimacing, they're like gritting their teeth. I'm always relaxed, I've always got a half smile on my face, and I'll talk to you because I want you to know that there's nothing, I have no fear right now. I try to be a great human being 99% of the time, but like when we go to fight now, like this is the one time to where I can't afford to be nice to you.
So what did you say to Magomed Karimov when he was on your back?
Oh man, what was that? I was just asking him, was like, is this what we came to do? Like, is this your fight? Like, you're the champion, huh?
I thought
like,
you were gonna bite him.
It crossed my mind, but I was like, oh, DQ, nah.
You know, listen, Muhammad Ali talked so bad to people that the referee wanted to disqualify him. The referee couldn't even explain what Ali said to the press. And he actually said, I can't say what he was saying. It's just horrible. It was really just bad.
Mike, before we get out of here, final word of advice for Chris the Action Man Curtis as he heads into the Professional Fighters League playoffs.
Life is great.
Oh, man.
Great.
Chris, we'll see you October 11th, right?
I can't wait, man. You guys show up. It's gonna be, I'm gonna try to give you guys something to remember.
My upset of the night is Chris Curtis. I interviewed him, I talked to him. He's ready for revenge. That fire is burning in his heart, and I think he's gonna win by submission. The most exciting fight of the night, I think, will be Kayla Harris. I've interviewed her a couple of months earlier, and she's hungry, she's ready to become somebody, and she wants the world to know who she is. John Howard's going to be the biggest knockout sensation, I think, tonight.
Big left hooks.
Because he's just spectacular. I remember seeing him knock out Cooper. It was just a one-punch knockout.
Stay on the outside. Another left hook. Cooper is down.
Sensational.
For Mike Tyson, I'm Sean O'Connell. We'll see you next week.